Everyone, it's Natalie. So today I thought I'd do a quick video about living in the or holding on to the could be, should be, one day narrative with your narcissist, having hopes and dreams that things will change, even when you've experienced living in hell for however long you've been in a relationship with a narcissist, living in that fantasy land of they're going to wake up. One day they'll treat me better. Things will get better. They'll accept me. I'll have that loving, caring mother in law or mother or father that I've always wanted. But the truth is, living in a fantasy is really just sacrificing your time and your energy and yourself, because you imagine the relationship that you wish you could have. But the truth is, you're never going to get it. And the word never is a very scary word. And you don't want to believe that you'll never get this relationship that you crave. But the truth is, you're not. And so continuing living in this fantasy land of thinking that you're going to change the narcissist's attitude or behavior towards you, it's just never going to happen. And I can tell you from firsthand experience, for years I had high hope that my in-laws would change their mind about me and that they would eventually accept me, love me, and care for me. But it never happened. And still to this day, I'm the first to admit that I still want that. But the truth of the matter is that I'll never get it. And so I have to accept the fact that I didn't get the people I deserve. And when you can start accepting the fact that you cannot change people's behaviors or attitudes towards you, you grow as a person, because who you are as a person is not who they are. So you don't have to rely on them to be the person that you are. So stop living in this fantasy land that, well, one day they'll see I'm a good person. One day they'll wake up to the fact that I love their child. And one day they'll wake up to the fact that, they can love me as much as they love their own child. The truth is, that's just all a fantasy in your head. And as an empathic person, you want to believe that people have that will in them, that one day they will love you, one day they will see you for who you truly are. But if you're dealing with a narcissist, it is a personality disorder. You cannot change someone's personality. You can change people's behaviors, but if you're dealing with someone's personality, you're not going to be able to change that. So they might behave narcissistic, and maybe that person that behaves narcissistic can work on themselves and change that behavior. But you can't ask somebody to change who they are as a person, the very being of them, the very core of them. And through the years, the 22 years, what I have learned is that no matter how much I changed as a person to please someone else, the way that the narcissist treated me and behaved never changed. So I changed to fit into the narcissist narrative, but the narcissist never changed to fit into my narrative. And this is where you have to really accept the fact that the way the narcissist is will never change. And then you also have to accept the fact that you didn't get what you deserved. You didn't get it. I mean, you deserve so much better. You deserve someone to treat you with love and respect and dignity. But instead, you got somebody that disrespects you, belittles you, manipulates you, gaslights you, triangulates on you. And because that is the hand you were dealt, you have to choose to either stay in this relationship and play that game and lose, the respect you have for yourself, lose your mental capability and emotional capabilities, or you choose that the other way, and that is keeping your dignity intact, keeping your self-respect, living a righteous life, and living for yourself. Because if you choose to live the way the narcissist plays their game, or if you choose to play the narcissist's game, you'll never win. You never win with a narcissist. It doesn't matter how much you change yourself as a person to fit into this family. The narcissist will always find flaws and faults within you. And like I say, you could be a missionary in the Congo, and they still would find flaws in your character. They would still smear you. They would still say bad things about you to other people, making it seem like, oh, well, Natalie, yeah, she's just pretending to be a good person. All this, her being a missionary in the Congo, is just for people to look and say she's a good person, but in reality, she really isn't. And I'm just using that as an example to show you that regardless if you are in contact with that narcissist, if the narcissist in your life or not, they're still going to disrespect you, dismiss you, and treat you like dirt. And when you're dealing with someone that has no respect for you, it doesn't matter what show you put on, it's still not good enough. And so you have to let go of the fact that you didn't get the people that you deserve. And you have to start living for yourself and recognizing that you're a worthy individual, that you deserve love. You should be cherished. And if people are in your life who do not cherish you, then you are wasting valuable time. You are valuable. And you need to spend your time, your energy, your effort with people that see your value. They're as much as this fantasy that plays in your head about this perfect life that you can have with the narcissist. You've got to knock that fantasy off, because it honestly, it's never going to happen. And you have to accept that. And I am sorry to have to tell you this. It's just not going to happen, guys. And so when you can start accepting the fact that the narcissist will never change, that the narcissist will never welcome you, the narcissist will never cherish you, the narcissist will never love you, then you can start putting the pieces of your life back together. You could be the best at whatever it is that you set forth to do. Accomplish climbing Mount Everest. Do whatever it is that makes you happy. Because no matter how much you want these people to accept you, it's just not going to happen. It's not. And for years, I did so much to gain that respect from my in-laws that I got tired of it, because I'm like, what else, what more can I do to make these people like me? I've done everything. Nothing was ever good enough. And then I started questioning myself, why am I doing this? I'm putting in this much effort for someone to like me? Anyone else, I just act like myself and they like me. I don't have to put effort into convincing someone to like me. They like me for who I am. They accept me for who I am. They respect me. I'll never forget, after we went no contact 3 years ago, my husband wrote his mother a letter stating, like, you guys have never treated Natalie fair, nice, you haven't been respectful towards her, and you promised that you were going to change. In that letter, his mother wrote, "We're too old to change. We will never change." And I finally, after all those years, I think at that time it was 17 years, it's like I finally got the answer that I already knew. That no, they weren't going to change. And no, they weren't going to respect me. And so I had a choice. And that choice was walk away from those people forever, or accept that they weren't going to change and stay in an abusive relationship to please my husband, to please my son's grandparents, because they're nothing to me. The way that they've treated me, I mean, if you guys knew the half of it, you would be surprised I stayed in contact for 17 years. And I accepted a long time ago, and this is kind of like a conundrum, because I accepted a long time ago that they were never going to like me. But then in the same moment, I had that need for acceptance. I had that wanting of love, the wanting of being welcomed. And I was willing to do whatever it took to get that acceptance. And I did do whatever it took. But I never got the acceptance, even after I gave it my all. And if you're living in this shoulda, woulda, coulda type of mentality, you're not living here and now. You're not living the life that you deserve to live, because you're so worried about what somebody else thinks of you. You're so worried about getting that acceptance that you are mistreating yourself right now as we speak. And as hard as it is to accept the word never, that's a strong word, that you'll never get that acceptance. You have to accept it. And once you can start accepting that you'll never be accepted, you can start living here and now, living the life that you want, the way you want to live it. And the problem with not accepting the word never is that hamster wheel of the woulda, coulda, how can I make it happen keeps spinning, because you're still trying to figure out how to be accepted. But there's nothing that you can do to persuade this narcissist, to convince the narcissist that you're a good person. And obsessing over this very thing, it's not going to help you in the long run. You're going to stay in this cycle of, I don't know, it's like the cycle of, what can I do different? Is there anything I can do? It's like you want to almost be like a psychic to see in the future, to see if there's any possibility, any chance that you might have a relationship with these people in the future, because you think to yourself, if there is a possibility, then I want to give it a go. But the truth is, if you were to look in the future, you would see that you would be in the same position, the same situation you are right now. So you have a choice. The choice is to live the life you want, or continuing living this miserable life for the narcissist. You will never get the acceptance that you fantasize about. Never. And you have to stop obsessing over it. And I think this is one of the biggest problems when you're dealing with a narcissist, and especially if you go no contact, is that you obsess over them. You obsess over the way they've treated you, how things could have been different, what you imagined these people to be like, what you imagined how they would treat you. And you sit here and think to yourself, are you making the right decision? Is this the right decision? And these obsessive thoughts keep you imprisoned. It's like being a prisoner inside your own head. This is why I was saying in my other video, when you find yourself obsessing, it's like an addiction, right? You can't stop the obsessing, the thinking. That's why I say in my other videos that when you find yourself obsessing like this, it takes practice to stop obsessing. It takes you to redirect your thoughts into something positive. You just can't say, oh, okay, I want to stop obsessing today, or it's going to stop, now that I say it's going to stop, it's going to stop. No, it doesn't happen that way. Everything takes practice. It's like riding a bike. The more you practice riding that bike, the better you are. So the more you practice on stopping the obsession of, or the cycle of thinking about the woulda, coulda type of thoughts, the better off you'll be, the more that you practice redirecting your thought patterns, redirecting those intrusive, negative, hurtful thoughts. Because if you don't put in the work, you'll have nothing to show for it. And you'll be stuck in this cycle. So put in the work, and then the work will be done, and you'll be able to move forward in your life, live the best life that you can live. And those obsessive thoughts that once drove you mad are now non-existent. It takes time. Trust me, I know it takes time. But the more you practice, you will see the less and less those intrusive thoughts will enter your everyday life. Because I know, especially when you first go no contact, it seems like all you can think about is the narcissist and the way they've treated you. The woulda, coulda, one day type of thinking you have, it's never going to happen. Even if you think you've taught the narcissist a lesson by going no contact and then you go back into contact, that day is never going to come. So accept the life or the hand of cards that you were given and do something about it. The narc does not have control over your thoughts, emotions, body. You're allowing this narcissist to have that by obsessing over it. You don't want your life to be like this, do you? Put in the work, and you will see slowly over time, everything goes back to the way it was before the narcissist entered. And if you're a child of a narcissist, obviously it won't go back to the way you remember because it's all you know. But the trauma, the obsessive thoughts about the trauma will become less over time. You didn't get the person you deserved. Accept it. There's so many other wonderful human beings out there that would cherish you, love you, and accept you. And guess what? You don't have to pretend to be someone that you're not. They're going to love you for who you are. Peace, love, harmony. And I am doing the religious video, guys. But the thing is, I kind of have to research that. I want to make sure that I really have it down. And also, I've had over 7 emails about my donate button. So I decided to put it in the description. Even though I really didn't care to do it, I did it to make the ones that asked happy. If you donate, fine. If you don't, you know me. It's all good. I'll keep making these videos and I'll keep giving out free life coaching and the support groups that I have for free, just because anyone that has dealt with narcissistic abuse deserves to have someone on their side fighting with them. Peace, love, harmony. Bye.